Okay, so here's a Magnetbox TV that I got, I don't know, probably, I think back in the summer. This stupid screwdriver kept falling off. Anyway, I found this at a thrift store. They said they found it, somebody just dumped it in the back of the thrift store, and, oh, you know, I mean, at least they took it in. And how I knew they had it is because I looked on Google Earth, or Google Maps, and looked up the thrift store, and it had this in one of their pictures. I'm like, you know what? Let's go take a chance. Let's go in, because it was in kind of a bad part of town over in Pinellas County. I think it was in Kenneth City, but anyway, I have a. They put $25 on it, which I think it was worth about, I don't know, maybe $5 or free. And then they said they're not taking any more CRTs after this. It's virtually impossible to find a thrift store around here that takes these TVs anymore, because I mean, nobody wants to buy them, which is sad that people are so greedy and picky about. I would be perfectly fine I'd be perfectly fine watching one of these every day. But I know this thing, another reason why I don't want to throw it away is this. Assembled in Greenville, Tennessee, USA. Philips Electronics. Model number RS2568C401. Pack date, manufactured October 1993. So this month it is 29 years old. Still going strong. Well, last time I powered it up. It has video in and a coax jack, which these ones, especially like the older TVs, what these use, it's like its own little coax module. It's screwed in here, and then it has like a RF cord, like the kind on the. It looks like an RCA jack, but the jack looks just like this, except it's RF, and that's where it's in the tuner. It's on the circuit board. It has a connector on the tuner module. It has a connector like this, and so it's this on one end. It's like a little box here, and then it has a little cord that it goes to, and it plugs into a jack just like this on the tuner module. I like those kinds, but later ones, those were they were just direct, like the coax thing, or the cable input or antenna. It was directly on the tuner module, and especially if those get broken, it's a pain in the ass to solder them. But by like when those TVs started coming around, that was towards the end of the era for CRTs. That was when the really big and bulky rear projection sets became popular, and then later LCD sets became popular. But in my opinion, I think, like, if you have VHS tapes or a VCR around, you should at least have like a little small one, because VHS tapes look like total dog shit on flat screens. I have this little antenna on it for the converter box, but I don't think that's going to do much good. But when they do completely switch over to ATSC 3.0, I hope that they make converter boxes that have the antenna in with the coax and the RF out with this 75 ohm kind of connector, and ones with RCA AV input output jacks, or input or output jacks. So I just hope that they make tuners like exactly like this one, that have the 75 ohm RF in for the antenna, and the same thing, RF out to go to a TV, and it be compatible with older sets, and have the AV output jacks. That's also handy. So let's go ahead and turn this on. So this TV, it's weird, like I'll turn it on and then I hit the power button and it'll take a little bit to shut off, but turn that on, I'll show you. But it's, what we're going to do today is we're going to replace the speakers. I hacked in some speakers because the speakers in this thing, they were just completely shot, so why isn't the thing working? Ah, shoot. Yeah, those are known for shocking people, or I just got shocked by it. Okay, just got on, or just this thing with the thin little cable. They're common for getting all messed up, but I think this one's branded as Archer, so it's a pretty old cable. It's from Radio Shack, but there's the picture. You can barely even see it. Hold on. Okay, it's kind of washed out, but you can see how it's kind of dull sounding.
You know, a lot of this is without air conditioning as well. Yeah. So, regardless of the outcome, I hope we have a good one that we can get a consensus on.
What are they talking about? I'm fixing the AC at the schools. That would be nice if they would fix it so where it doesn't crap out every day.
stpete.com.
It actually does have a pretty good picture on it, and you can hear that speaker's voice coils dragging, but I have the voice coils dragging. That's what happened with these. I think somebody played this too loud.
Major funding for WEDU Arts Plus.
Last time I scanned this in, well, yeah, I updated it, so it's, and you got WFLA.
Victim. And I spoke with Tonsil's grandmother earlier today. She told me she went to the hospital to check on him, but hospital staff wouldn't let her in because he is, quote unquote, a confident patient.
Oh, right when I...
Exactly how he's doing. Back to you.
Chip, but did the grandmother have anything else to say?
Well, she told me a little bit about the background. She said that she had been raising him since he was 13 years old. They had kind of a strained relationship. So yesterday, she had no idea where he was, and she had no idea that he had a gun.
Wow. All right, Chip Osowski live for us in Pinellas County. Chip, thank you. We'll continue to follow the story as well.
You got Court TV, which this used to be MeTV, which I wish MeTV was still on 8.2, because back when it was on 8.2, it was still easier to receive. Now it's harder. It's hosted by CBS, even though it's on MOR subchannel 2, and then ABC hosts MOR.
Tomorrow on an all.
And then Twist, they got rid of our awesome antenna channel and they replaced it with this, it's women reality TV show garbage. Go grab the remote, see what kind of garbage is on. You can hear the speakers all screwed up. This remote's all disgusting. You got Crime Channel, Quest, which is decent.
Let me get it promoted. Let me get it
what
out there for
shows
people.
this?
We'll get it sold. And I keep Cindy and John Delfino out of it.
Auction Kings. I don't like that shit. Got Fox 13.
Security deposits. Treasury Department and Biden administration, congressional leaders say the idea behind this is to specifically find and identify large sum tax evaders, which brought us back to the debate, okay, well, why then accounts of $600 or less? Because, so the reasoning went, a number of large-scale tax invaders stash money away in a lot of different smaller accounts. But through the course of the debate, they decided to change the threshold to $10,000. But at the same time, the president's proposal of $80 billion to increase oversight at the IRS is in significant jeopardy as well. And with that, the entire plan is on the brink.
So what impact would these tax proposals have on audit rates?
Well, the president said that it will have no impact. It will not increase rates of audits on people making less than $400,000 a year. In theory, those who make more could see an additional increase in the rate of audits, but
bullshit.
too is that the IRS has had diminished staff and enforcers. And
that bastard said that we could that bastard said back when he was under Obama that, oh, you won't see a single cent increase under people making under bullshit. You know how all the inflation, all that shit. Oh, and this is the socialist bill that's going to bankrupt this fucking country. It's going to bankrupt this country, and it's going to make it even worse.
Instead, tax increases on the wealthiest Americans and corporations would cover the spending.
Yeah, you know how they tax the corporations? You know how that's going to screw it up? It's going to you know how it's going to let's hear Demented Joe.
And Democrats have set a deadline of the end of this month to get the deal done.
Well, after being banned from Twitter and Facebook, former President Trump launched a new social media company called Truth Social. Trump says his goal is to create a rival to the big tech companies that have shut him out. They banned him for his role in inciting the January 6th Capitol riots. The new site is still in beta testing, but reportedly has already been hacked by the group Anonymous.
Check those onions and chuck them, possibly. That's what the CDC is urging people to do after a salmonella outbreak has sickened more than 600 people across the U.S. These onions were imported from Chihuahua, Mexico, and distributed by a company that sells them to grocery stores and restaurants. And it could affect red, white, and yellow onions. Now, the CDC says if you don't know where your onions are originally from, throw them out just to be safe.
An unidentified American bidder just won the auction for the largest Triceratops skeleton ever discovered.
So, you know how all the taxes and all that shit, what it's gonna do is they're gonna hike the taxes on the major corporations, and then they're gonna have to start charging more for their goods that they sell to offset the cost of the tax increase, and it's gonna trickle down to us, and it's gonna make shit cost more, and it's not good. No, it's not good for anybody. The only thing that benefits is all the career Democrats in Congress that have been there for over 2-3 decades. That's who it will benefit. It will benefit nobody. It will completely bankrupt this country and turn it into a mega socialism. Now, this will probably get me banned from YouTube, but whatever. But that stupid infrastructure shit, that's going to completely bankrupt America. The corporate tax hikes are going to, it's going to trick the corporations. They're going to have to start charging more for their goods that they offer. And that's going to trickle down on that's going to trickle down to us, making the prices go up even more than they already have, and that's their stupid way. That's their way of not taxing us or not having tax increases for us. Is they tax the big corporations and then the prices go up. So pretty much we're fucked. Okay, enough of my political rant. Let's see what other garbage is on TV. Movies. What is this? A woman's face. No. Never heard of it. Buzzer, that's a game show. MacGyver. Walker, Texas Ranger.
If I go out and take a closer look, go ahead. Oh, boy.
Newhart, never. Maybe I've heard of that. Bob Newhart. And this is. Now this station won't come in good because this is a VHF antenna, not UHF. This is the woke station. You got bounce on this one, which used to have laugh on there. I hope they don't take away grit because I like that station. mystery. We have like 20 court TV channels. HSN, WMOR, which ABC hosts, MeTV, which CBS hosts, and Estrell, the Spanish channel, which Fox 13 hosts, because if you pick up channel 10, you can pick up channel 32.2, and same thing with vice versa with the other two. And here's lowest common denominator of society, gutter trash, ghetto trash, idiots.
Everyone on Medicare. Attention, everyone.
Little House on the Prairie.
We're talking about Medicare Part C, commonly.
Hot Bench, garbage judge shows.
Okay.
Fave TV. Jamie Foxx. Dabble, which is like a cooking channel. Escape to the Country.
2316.
I think that, oh, this is Circle. They show like country stuff, and then this TV, which not this TV, but the channel we used to have it was like WMOR point. Like I think it was like channel, I think maybe 32.3 or something. It was one of those, but we lost it about like I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, and we got it back. That's the Spanish channel. We got another Bounce channel. We got Get TV, which is like older shows. See, we got another court mystery channel, Digi TV, which I'm guessing it's a stupid one of those crime networks. Got Ion, Court TV again, Grit, Laugh. That's the only Laugh channel we have. Defy, which this is this the I think this is the one's the women channel. This is the men channel, and then Newsy, which it's shit. So, and I'll show you what this weird thing does when you turn it off. Look, so I'll turn it on. See the 3 comes up. I'll press the power button. You can see the screen lights up, and then is smearing a little bit. Takes a little bit. The converter box is gonna complain that it doesn't have an adequate signal, and it's not gonna do it. And now it just turned off, so it takes about a minute to shut off completely. Okay, so I wasn't able to find nut driver, but this will work. It's one of those screwdrivers that you put a bit in. Here's the inside, and it actually gives you a schematic, and it has a thing here somebody wrote in it. I think it's from the factory. It has a Phillips tube in it. I think this is a high hour set, but that's how I really wish they still made CRTs like from 13 inches to like 32 inches with like the coax jacks and no smart features. I wish that they still made them. I really wish that they did. I wish that they made them, and I wish that they still made CRT TVs just like this, with like the coax, like the 75 ohm coax jack, and like the AV inputs, and like the and with no smart features, just like the curved screen. I wish that they made them. I wish that they still made CRT TVs that looked exactly like this, like the same kind of screen, same kind of case design, and the same kind of features that these ones have. But I hacked in a speaker here a while ago. It sounds like crap. Let's go dig around in my shit or let's go dig around some shit and see if we can come up with one. I actually have a tube out of a Magnetbox TV that I parted out. It's like I think like the last one. It was silver and like the case plastic was really poor quality. I junked one, and I ended up finding the same exact one. I think it might have been like the 19-inch version. This one I think was the 20-inch version, but it was a very flimsy TV, and this one that I have, it's flimsy too, but I'm gonna keep that one if I can. Let's see, here's a little speaker that's out of this little kitty record player. Here's that little record player, and this is what the front looks like. I'll take a picture of it at the end of the video, but I was gonna maybe eventually use this, but for something. I have the case, it's all shot, but I mean, this happened. You can see what happened to the control. And you can see what this amp runs on. It's like a little tiny IC and just two little capacitors and a diode for rectification, like the little ceramic disc. And a resistor. Oh, and it's missing a resistor. And that's about it. And this is the little speaker. These were like the last kitty record players made. And they were Korean. And they used a little tiny speaker. But let's try and use these rivets, and these ones really weren't designed to be fixed. They were designed to be thrown away, just like those little Japanese tube radios, which I really wish that they still made them today, like in the same design, like the cute little case colors, and like just having it AM only, and the 5 tube, like the miniature tubes, and like the little ones, the cute little ones that I featured on this, like the cute little Japanese tube radios that I featured on this channel before. Those ones. I wish that they still made those exactly like they do. They're pretty rare today because, I mean, they'll show up occasionally, but usually when you find them, they're usually on eBay, and they're usually a high price because most people just threw them away when they stopped working, but some people just held on to them. Here's the tone arm post. Here's what's left of it, the control, the volume control. There's the little control shaft, a little piece of phenolic, the little brass thing that keeps it around, and this is where the power connects to it. So yeah, this is the amplifier. You can see it's very basic. You know what I'll try and do? Maybe try and power this. I don't know. I was able to fish this speaker out of it. I prepared the leads, or the wires. Prepared it to be soldered, or not soldered, but you get the point. But let's go fit this into the TV and see what it does. You can see something completely or it dry rotted and just fell off, but there's no foam surround, and you can see it. It's rubbing, so junk. Okay, so I turned it on its face, and I put a pillow down so the tube wouldn't get scratched and screwed up, because they don't make CR replacements for these. Okay, let's see what this does.
Killed them all. If he is not, U.S. are still working with authorities there in Haiti. Mission asking everyone to please.
think they're trying to move Haitians into the country, illegal immigrants into the country. A Christian group is. That's just lovely. I'm sorry, but there should not be, no, if people want to live in this country, they should have to go through the immigration process like everybody else has to. Everybody who wants to live in this country, they should all have to do the immigration process the legal way. There should be no, they should send them back to where they came from. They should not, if they want to be a citizen here, fine, we'll welcome you, but if you're gonna come in here, jump the border illegally, and sit on your ass and collect checks, then no, get the fuck out. But if you're coming here and you want to live here because you're trying to escape communism, and come in and please just immigrate legally. But all these fucks that want socialism, if socialism and communism work so well, why does Cuba, Venezuela, and China look like they do? Just asking. Okay, that's enough with my political rant.
Letting in fresh air.
See, so in the case of the hospital, you're going to the community pharmacy that's owned by that hospital. So that's who you're talking to.
The speaker's kind of rattling.
So if that farm...
I'm not taking it back apart because I don't have the time.
We're getting more comfortable temperatures up in Newport Richey and Crystal River. They're in the upper
stretching.
70s. We're in the mid-80s in Tampa and St. Pete. We're in the low 80s in Lakewood Ranch and Sarasota, down in Venice. Look at Fender 8. Now, start to see a few showers as we move through this week. Not for tonight. We're just looking at completely dry conditions, and that means our temperatures will sink down pretty nicely into the comfortable zone. It won't get quite as crisp as it has been.
You can see it's
a little bit less
getting
like
brighter and darker
tomorrow morning. But here's what you can expect.
What I hate
We're working our way into the 70s
is that
around sunset.
the modern TV stations are like they don't know how to. I wish that they would have. I wish that they would just, because look, it's all cut off. It's meant for flat screens or wide screens, and even on my widescreen HD rear projection TV from 2004, it still doesn't display the stuff right. And you can these buttons stick on this converter box. Oh, come on.